Hey everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, October the 25th, with the moon that sets the public tone. Will be void, of course, in the sign of Gemini. Gemini can have us restless, brainstorming, conversational, unfocused, mentally stimulated. But when the moon is void, of course, which I mention every week, when the moon is changing signs and it's no longer making any aspects, the energy is flat. It's unproductive. So you don't want to be making any important decisions or launching any major new projects. You just want to stay the course. And the moon will be void, of course, from 7:12 a.m. Pacific time until 2:01 p.m. Pacific time, when the moon then leaves a mental Gemini and goes into carrying emotional Cancer. And right after the moon goes into Cancer, the moon will be in harmony with the sun in Scorpio, because they're both water signs. And when the sun and the moon are in harmony, it's trying to support a more comfortable day. Tuesday, with the moon in Cancer, the moon can be in Cancer, can trigger mood swings, moodiness, but can also be very nurturing and caring. But pleasure-seeking relational Venus will be squaring or in a hard 90-degree angle to nebulous, foggy Neptune. So looking at Venus with relationships, because Venus also represents creativity, it represents beauty, but when it comes to relationships, Venus, when it's in a difficult angle to Neptune, this square aspect would only be happening twice in a year. It's a time of tension, that when it comes to relationships, you're more ripe with misunderstandings or secrets or disappointments. So you want to, be careful. Don't come up with assumptions, and don't try to keep getting an answer, because the Neptune is this evasive, nebulous energies. Artistically, from performers to artists to those who just want to be inspired creatively, that Venus-Neptune can also inspire a great deal of imagination. So it's great for artists, gotta be careful for lovers. On Wednesday, the moon continues in Cancer, but by mid-afternoon, for a couple of hours approximately, Pacific time, the moon will be at odds or in confrontation to compulsive, manipulative Pluto. This could also be when secrets are being revealed or emotional power struggles are locking horns. The thing about the moon in Cancer that can be more favorable, it allows us to be more reflective and step back, and not necessarily get completely overwhelmed in going down the rabbit hole. So it's a couple of hours of maybe you just need to step back, and instead of engaging with others, or if you find yourself being engaged with others in what seems like a no-win situation, it's best to just excuse yourself from the situation, because nobody's going to win anyhow for those couple of hours, and be by yourself and reflect on what's really happening. On Thursday, the moon will be in Leo. Leo is a fire sign. When the moon was in Cancer, it's a water sign. Water is emotional and sensitive and creative, but fire is inspirational, it's fiery, it's dynamic, it's extroverted. And the moon in Leo, it can be very sociable, seeking a lot of enjoyment and entertainment. As pleasure-seeking Venus on Thursday will be in harmony with expansive, optimistic Jupiter. With the moon in Leo and pleasure-seeking Venus, good with Jupiter, a good day for socializing, a good day for a party, a good day to go to an entertainment venue, a concert, or even being swept away emotionally by a great film. But around 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, the Leo moon will be in tension with restricted Saturn. So it may be a little bump in the road where you're feeling lonely, left out, emotionally kind of contracted, but that too will pass very quickly because the overall theme is really enjoying the pleasures of life with that Venus-Jupiter. As we go into Friday, the moon continues in Leo, outgoing Leo, and it's going to be in harmony with mentally stimulating conversational Mercury mid-afternoon Pacific time. So this is a really favorable time if you're having meetings and you need to converse, just going to a party because it is Friday, and being more stimulated intellectually with good conversation. But that evening, more by mid-afternoon, late afternoon on Friday, Pacific time, till about noonish Pacific time on Saturday, the sun that puts a real spotlight on where we need to pay attention to is going to be blocked by restricted Sirius Saturn. Now that could indicate when parents, authority figures, your bosses could be disapproving or judging, or you're feeling really frustrated or contained by those in authority. It is not the best timing for business because you might be feeling kind of frustrated. But on Saturday, the sun continues in a hard angle to Saturn. This 90-degree angle only happens twice a year. It's a really an important period of really testing reality. You know, are you grounded? Do you know what you're doing? Plus, the moon will go void, of course, at 12:05 a.m. Saturday morning Pacific time until 11:10 a.m. Pacific time. And so with the sun in a stressful angle to Saturn and the moon void, of course, the first half of the day, Pacific time, this is best to be laying low, doing more soul searching, not really engaging in the outer world because you're going to be feeling more contained and frustrated by external events. But at 11:10 a.m. Pacific time, the moon leaves fiery extroverted Leo, which had been void, of course, and goes into Virgo. Virgo is a very practical, sensible energy. The moon sets the public tone. And then we get to Sunday, October 31st, Halloween. And especially Halloween is a huge holiday in the United States. And it's going to be an excellent day for trick-or-treating, for attending costume parties. The moon, it's in sensible Virgo, good thing, but it's going to be stimulated by innovative, original Uranus. So you can get out of your rut, try new things without going over the top, because the moon's in sensible Virgo. Plus Mercury, discerning Mercury, will be in harmony with optimistic, expansive Jupiter. Good for traveling, good for studying, good for publishing. All that Jupiter expansiveness, Mercury communications. It's overall, with the moon good with Uranus and Mercury good with Jupiter, overall, it's a very favorable day to celebrate Halloween. Before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for the one-question offer for a nominal fee. To request it, go to the home page of astrologyanswers.com, click on the tab label Advisors, scroll down until you find my name. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great and safe week.